All right, what's up? It's Kwame, man, and this is Beyond the Roll podcast, first episode. I'm here with Alonzo.
Boy Lonzo, what's up? What's up, guys? How you guys doing?
Yeah, man. So this is the first one. We're over here at Gracie Baja in Paso, beautiful Paso Robles, Central Coast. Chilling over here. How you feeling today, man?
I'm feeling good. We just finished training. I feel a little spent, not gonna lie. Had a good roll with you, and just want to thank the guys here at Paso for letting us record. Got a nice setup here of the boys.
The legends.
Yeah, for sure. And this is our first episode, so we're gonna we're just gonna have a nice conversation, just do the thing. But we're just gonna introduce ourselves, how we started jiu-jitsu, and how it's helped us so far. But what about, how did you start, bro?
Yeah, man. My journey with jiu-jitsu started in 2019, and a couple reasons why I started was, of course, listening to podcasts, listening to, Joe Rogan, Joey Diaz. And it was always in the back of my head, you know what I mean? Just like, I need to start this. And I've been a big fan of the UFC. Been watching it since I was a small child. And I did take some judo in elementary.
Nice.
My parents took me out because, I don't know, they said I was too aggressive and I was getting a few fights in school.
Whoa.
But that's pretty much the reason, man. And then, you know what? I started to, I had a few confrontations, out there living in, I'm from the San Fernando Valley, grew up out there, and I had some confrontations. A few people, wanted to fight me and stuff like that. I was working at this plasma bank in Van Nuys, and it's kind of a bad area. A lot of, different gangs show up, donate their blood, go buy, buy their weed after, whatever. But yeah, they get that $30-$40. But a few guys called me out there, and there was one guy there. He was I think he was a X-ray or something like that. He was donating too, but he's like, "Hey, man, you should try jiu-jitsu. That'll toughen you up." But that was like in 2017, and I ended up signing up here. Shout out to Professor Garrett, came out here. Nice. And it was awesome. And I was training here for about 5 months or so.
Mm-hmm.
I did have an injury. I was doing jiu-jitsu, and I couldn't get enough of it, so I was rolling in a garage on some thin mats with some guys, and basically got taken down. Another big guy fell on me, fractured my clavicle, had an AC joint separation in my shoulder, got jacked up. Then COVID happened, and I've been, I was second guessing myself, coming back, but, same thing. I never threw away my gi. It was in the closet, looking at it every day.
Yes, sir.
And I kept running into everybody from GB, and they're like, "When are you coming back? When are you coming back?" I had to work a lot, but no excuses, man. I've been back since November and been having a great time. Met Lonzo here at the Tascadero location. But yeah, enough about me, man. How did you get into jiu-jitsu, man?
Man, like growing up, I played a lot of the UFC games growing up, and I always played. I would always be at my grandma's house just playing video games and stuff, but I never really knew what was going on the floor. You hear Joe Rogan talking about transition, he's doing this. I'm like, I have no clue what that. And then way down the line, like you said with podcasts, I do Uber Eats and DoorDash. I'm always listening to podcasts, and a lot of people are just talking about jiu-jitsu and how it's helped them in their lives. And, I was like, one day I got up and I was like, you know what? I'm going to start. I looked around at the schools for a few months. I'm like, man, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to start doing jiu-jitsu. I'm going to start training a martial art, And, one day I just got up, signed up for jiu-jitsu. And I remember the first day, it was just like my professor, Hafa, he was there. And it looked like I pulled up to the gym, and he was unlocking the door. And he probably thought I was like trying to rob him or something. I was like walking up behind him, and he turns around and looks at me. I'm like, "Is this a jiu-jitsu school?" He's like, "Yes, this is it." And I'm like, you know what? And since the first day, it was just awesome, bro. Just a whole different vibe. You can't really describe the feeling once you're rolling. You're just like, it's really intense, but it's also like a very intricate art. A lot of mind power, and very, very thoughtful when you're rolling, and that's pretty much how I started. And I started in October of 2023. So
nice.
So, yeah, so
that's
pretty much it.
Can you talk about like how did you feel like the first time you did jiu-jitsu, like the first week? What were your thoughts?
My first thought was like, damn, this is crazy, bro. Like, this is like, it's like a very primal part of of you that comes out when you're rolling. You know, it's very intense. You're trying to defend yourself. You're not trying to break your arm. You're not trying to get choked out. And when you got some dude on top of you with, you know, all their weight, it's not the most pleasant feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, it's definitely trying to get used to that. I'm still trying to get used to that, honestly. And I don't think it's like something that feels good or will ever feel good. But just learning to overcome adversity would be important in the process of, you know, developing yourself and who you want to be. So, I mean, that's what's helped me so far. So,
nice.
Yeah.
So, like, I still remember my first week coming in. I was very nervous, and you know, was rolling with a big guy. Actually, Big Lou. Shout out to him. He's my coach for a while.
He's cool, man.
Awesome guy. I rolled with him, and you know, he got on top of me. You know, we're doing the 5-minute rounds, and I was dying probably in like 3 minutes. Couldn't breathe. You know, felt like almost I was gonna pass out. A lot of anxiety, but you know, he kept showing up. But yeah, I pretty much got beat up for like the first probably like I don't know, like 3 months. I got beat up like every day, and it was intense. And
but don't get discouraged though.
Yeah, you don't, you know, keep showing up. But it's something about jiu-jitsu that it's different. I don't know. It's different from, like, I'm a basketball guy. You know, I played basketball my whole life.
Same,
and
bro.
it's a different feeling. And I thought it was always kind of funny that, you know, we all killing, you know, basically trying to kill each other, choke each other out, break our bones, whatever. But then after, I remember Garrett's like, yeah, we're going to have a potluck after. And it's like everybody's friends after, you know.
Yeah,
like,
it's so crazy. It's like
brother,
family,
and really family. And you become cool with everybody, like, pretty quickly. And a lot of interesting people, a lot of intelligent people in jiu-jitsu, I've noticed for sure. It is really calculated, and the moves, you got to pay attention, and it's very interesting. And it's one of those things that can become like highly addictive, and it's like people will, you know, the smaller person will beat you, and you're like, how did he do that? And then you ask them, they'll show you, and it's pretty cool, man. So
when you're looking at your gi when you're injured, like what was bringing you back? Like what wanted you to bring you back to the jiu-jitsu mats?
So I keep thinking about judo because I got taken out of judo, and I never made it past the white belt in judo. But I remember I was doing really good in that class, and I always talked to my dad like, man, he took me out, and like I never reached it and the next level, or I didn't, you know. I just saw it. I kept seeing it, and I saw it as, damn, you're gonna quit that too, because I pretty much quit everything, man. Like, as I had my kids, and then like I slowly started stopping the things that I used to love to do. Like I kind of ride around skateboard, but I really stopped skating. I stopped playing basketball. Like, you know, I don't do the leagues anymore. Like I started like giving up a lot of things, and I'm like, damn. And I kept looking at that, and it's like, wow. Like it just talked to me like, dude, you're a coward. You quit. Yeah. And then like, again, I had another confrontation in slow, man. In 2023, a few months, you know, before I started jiu-jitsu, a confrontation slow with a homeless guy 2 different times. I'm with my son, this crazy homeless guy. I'm assuming he's homeless, backpack. Yeah, and he wanted to throw it down. Apparently, you know, I put a Conor McGregor stance on him, but I was like, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but he had a weapon. He had like a cane or something on him.
And you were with your kid?
I was with my kid, dude.
No way.
And he was right there. But my son's pretty big too. But still, I was like, damn, dude, I don't know if I could. I don't know what my conditioning is going to be like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So then I started thinking like, damn, what if I was here with my whole family and I had to defend them? Right. And I have no training. I've been lifting weights, but you know that. If you're a big weightlifter, you're going to be tired in like 2 minutes. Right. Like, you're all that muscle.
I wish it translated to like, I mean, yeah, you could be big and strong, but it doesn't mean you know how to fight, right?
Does not mean you know how to fight at all. So I was like, damn, dude. Like, so that kept going in my head. And then, you know, two different occasions. Another time, some homeless dude was just yelling at me. I was just literally just drinking coffee and slow and just yelling. I don't know why. Like homeless people. I attract homeless people or something. Maybe they think I'm homeless. I don't know. Yeah.
So what happened once you had that altercation?
I stood up to him and we squared off. And he started calling me a lot of crazy names and stuff, you know. And I was just there, and I put the fucking stance on him, son. And nothing happened, dude. Oh, okay. Luckily, And but then like he had that stick on him though,
Right.
I don't know what's gonna happen. I get hit with that stick, and I
Right.
don't know what he's on.
Right. You got some
And yeah,
PCP and you're
yeah,
screwed, bro.
PCP. I mean, there was a chair nearby. I grabbed the chair after, and then he kind of just left. And then
That's
everybody's just watching, and I was like, dude. So I don't really know what to do in that situation, but I was gonna try to protect myself there at all times. But yeah, man. So I kept getting little signs like, dude, you need to get back. I also gained a lot of weight. I was like probably when I started this, I was probably like 240. So I'm about like 220 right now, 221. But it's just hard for me to just be like, well, let's go to the gym and just run, or it's like kind of boring. You know what I mean?
It is like monotonous, like the way
treadmill.
Yeah, just like doing the same thing. I mean, it's good. It's good for you.
Good, yeah.
But yeah, like it's relatable what you said about like starting something and then not really going through with it. Like when I was a kid, I did karate for a little bit, and then I just like lost the passion, and just like I remember telling my parents like, oh, I really don't feel like going anymore. And it was on me. I was accountable, and that's why I stopped doing that. And I played basketball too, and I stuck with that for a few years. But after a while, like high school and stuff, really lost the love for it. So with jiu-jitsu, just trying to show up every day, do your best, and just enjoy life. Pretty much enjoy being here, and it's an awesome martial art. I recommend it to anybody watching if you haven't already. Just
yeah. How would you explain, like, we were talking about this the other day, like, before jiu-jitsu you feel a certain way, and then after. Can you explain that? Like, maybe everybody feels a different way, but can you explain that, like, the feeling you get after post-roll?
Yeah. So
class.
Yeah. So I do. I've been starting recording like daily vlogs and stuff, and I'll record myself before training and after training. I've noticed that after training, I feel like there's like a barrier that's like released, like you're a lot more self-conscious. I don't know another example, but like I guess when people drink, they feel more social and stuff. But like with jiu-jitsu, I feel that same way, where I'm able to express myself and be able to just speak without thinking about things too much. So after you get all those juices flowing, you're sweaty, you're going through some stuff that's hard, everything else, feels good. I feel like it's important to go through some stuff that's like, it's hard. You run, you're out of breath, you're freaking trying to escape submissions, and you get out, it feels good. Like you feel like, oh, you survived, bro. Like
100, yeah.
Yeah, so like that's pretty much how it feels for me. But how about for you? Do you feel the same way?
Same way. Yeah, very similar. I've come in on days where I had a lot of things going on in my life, just like family situations, work. I come in, I'll roll, we train, and I feel so much better after. I get that clarity,
right,
and all the stress comes off of me, and it lasts. Because when I go and do my job, I'm working as an MRI tech or whatever, and there's some stressful things. You got people coming from ER, strokes. You got doctors calling you, why didn't you do this patient? Why didn't you do this and that? Just all on you.
Right.
So I'm like, well, I put it in a perspective where I'm like, well, I'm here. Like nobody's trying to come after and break my arm or choke me out, or there's no one putting their knee on my belly. And it's like I've gone through the stressful situations on the mat. Also, putting my body through stress and like working out and working hard. So when I go to work, it's easy. It's like
it's easier.
I'm already been there, and it's like I'm so much calmer now. And even with my kids, I have two kids. One's older. He's like 12, and then my other one's 10. And yeah, man. I mean, just with them, it's being a dad could be hard, or trying to please your whole family. And it's like I have my younger son. He's a nonverbal autistic, great kid, very happy, just like any other kid. Just doesn't talk much, but it could be a lot of work with him and doing all this and that. But
balance,
yeah, but it's crazy. It's like jiu-jitsu is like even shout out to Coach Evan. He's like, you can use jiu-jitsu for anything.
Yeah,
the power. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's like it just chills me out, makes everything in my life a little easier, dealing with stressful situations. And yeah, man, that's how I feel. If I can get in 3 days, that's optimal.
Awesome.
But when I only do 1 day or two, when I do two, like 2 days off of jiu-jitsu, 3 days, I start to like, oh man, I need
Yeah,
to
you
come
can
in.
feel it's like that Green Goblin talk. You
Yeah,
see that
you're-
video? Yeah, it's like that Green Goblin talking at you. You got to get back, bro.
You're pathetic. What does he
Yeah.
say? Something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that
It's
voice
like-
starts coming on. Like, you weak, you're fat, you can't defend yourself.
Yeah, you gotta get after it. I mean, for me, it was like the opposite. Like when I first started, I'm like, okay, I gotta do that. I'm showing up twice a day.
Mhm.
I'm going to two trainings, and then my body was talking to me like, bro, you need to relax. You just started. You can't. So I've been trying to dial it in, make sure I listen to my body, and not hurt myself.
I heard about that. Hoffa was like, yeah, sometimes he comes twice a day.
Yeah.
This and that. I was like, damn, this guy needs. In my head, I wanted to tell you, like, dude, you need to slow down. But I didn't know you, so I don't
man,
like.
Hey, I'm open to any
But what do I know?
advice.
Well,
You know, I
What
was
do I
just
know?
like trying to get after it. You know,
like,
what I mean?
sometimes you're twice a day. I was like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah.
Go home to your family.
Hoffa was just like when he was telling me when he was younger, that's what he would do. He just go to school and
That
train.
guy's a beast.
For sure, he's a beast.
He's awesome.
Yeah, but I do have to dial it back, listen to my body, because sometimes you get little pains, you get little things that you try to work around, but sometimes it's like overkill. Sometimes you do too much and your body tells you like, hey, bro, slow down a little bit. But
Yeah. What was I gonna tell you? So like,
Mm-hmm.
did you since you've been training? I always try to get my friends to come in. Were you ever like successful getting any of your friends come in?
yeah,
'Cause, like,
I had my brother come in
Yeah.
for his birthday. I'm like, hey, bro, come to town. I'll show you what I've been doing. He's like, put on the gi. He's like, oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, and it was super dope. Like if you guys ever rolled with any family members or someone you care for, bring them to train. It's a whole different feel. You're trying to show them how to do these ninja moves like a ninja turtle,
mm-hmm.
and you're out here trying to show them. It's like it's cool, man. It's really dope just to share that experience with someone, and cherish that.
Yeah, honestly, I think jiu-jitsu is for everyone and all ages. There's different levels to it. There's basically whatever you're looking for here, you can get it. Whatever tempo, whatever speed.
Right.
If you want to be competitor or if you're just trying to drill a little bit. I mean, there's all different levels. Like they'll tone it to your level and where you
Right.
want to be.
And everyone's different.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own way of doing things and way how to. Some people are just really aggressive, and that's just how they don't mean it with bad intentions, but that's just how they are. So you
Mhm.
just have to learn to be like, all right, I'll adjust.
Yeah. So that's why I tell everyone, like, they're like, oh, I'm going to go in there. They're going to hurt me and do this and that. It's not, man. It really, especially Gracie Barra, it's a friendly family environment. It's not going to be like that. People are not going to come after you like that.
Right.
Unless you want to amp it up and bring it to that level. There's all different ages, right? There's older guys,
Mhm.
50s,
Younger, older.
women. Of course, there's children classes too, which I'm trying to get my son in here. He has done a class before a few years ago, and he liked it a lot. So
That's cool.
we'll
Man.
get him in.
So like, when it comes to jiu-jitsu, like, how do you feel like it? Like you said, it translates to your life. Do you feel like you pull that out at different times? Like you mentioned that with your family and at work. Do you feel like it with other things too? Like,
Yeah, man. I mean, I just always bring it back to just like how calm it makes me and like how to deal with the stressful situations. And it will boost your confidence, man,
Right.
for sure. 100%. I feel like we were joking around. It's something about the upper belts, man. Like some of these black belts, like how they're just like a different person, man. I swear. Or even
a lot of
like
experience, man.
even like Evan, when I met him, he was like
Mhm.
a blue belt, and now he's like a brown. He's like a different person now.
Yeah,
He's
you have more
way
experience.
different, yeah.
You have more experience. You have more knowledge, wisdom. You're able to
Just-
share it, and I think that's one of the beautiful things about jiu-jitsu is like a lot of people see it like secrets or certain moves, but the more open and the more you share, the more you learn. You help others grow,
Mhm.
and it just helps spread the sport around. Because honestly, jiu-jitsu, I feel like it is getting more popular, but I feel like it's still not expanded all over, nationwide.
Nah, it's not. And I don't know how long it takes you to start talking about jiu-jitsu with I don't know, some of your family members or
Mhm. I always
friends.
talk
But
about it.
like if there's someone asks, I'll wear my sweater to work or something, or
Yeah.
they see me watching something like, what's that? And then I'll start showing them rear naked chokes. So, you know what I mean? At
Yeah.
work and just like trying to get them to do it.
Yeah.
And I got one guy. He lives in Salinas though.
Okay.
I got him to start training at a local gym out there, but I'm trying to get him to go to the GB in Morgan Hill, and he's like, "Oh, it's too far," but it's like 30 minutes. And then my brother is out there in Burbank. He's training at Legacy, but he's a Muay Thai guy, and he's been doing Taekwondo. But I was like, nah, bro, you got to start doing some Jiu-Jitsu, bro. Yeah, I don't know. He's just like, I'm gonna get to it.
Incorporate both, you know.
Yeah.
Just like that Bruce Lee, like incorporate all the martial arts into
yeah, it's just different though, because like people are gonna start grabbing them now, and it's like,
for sure.
But I'm like, you just gotta go, man. You just gotta sign up and go, show up, man. You know.
Definitely. Like if you want something to chew on, you know, if you have like ADHD or anything, it's a good place to sit down and listen, shut the mind off, and just listen to the instructor, listen to what's going on, and you know, hopefully work on the techniques.
That's why I like it too. It's just, I mean, like I said, man, growing up, my uncles, they all did MMA, all of them. Two of them have passed away, but they were always going and doing MMA training, fighting till like they were older, man, to the 40s, 50s. And they used to they used to practice their moves on me when I was in elementary. So they used to arm bar. I didn't know what they were doing though. I didn't know. And they would record the UFCs on VHS.
Yeah.
And I would just see them, and we would watch it, and I'd just be grabbing my arms. But UFC was really frowned upon back then. It was like, these guys are savages, pit fight. Like, they didn't see them as athletes like that. So, you know, I can see why like my parents didn't want to put me in something like that. It's savage.
It's intense, man. Yeah. It's like I don't know, cockfighting pretty much. got freaking two people in a cage just going after it. But at the same time, I feel like, you know, it's a full expression of yourself, you know, your style, your technique. You're able to show that off to the world. So it's it's an acquired taste for sure. Like watching UFC, I know we got a couple fights coming up. I don't know if you want to talk about some of who you got on the UFC fights.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah.
Yeah, we got McGregor, Chandler coming up too. Those are big fights.
Yeah, man. I got McGregor on that one. Sorry.
It must be hard. It must be hard just being a fighter, dude. Like you feel like that's like that's your only like main source of income is to freaking hop in a cage and do it. It's not really unpredictable too. You got a lot of money in. You got freaking Vegas in the mix. It's hard.
You got to sell yourself too.
Exactly.
You got to sell tickets. You got to get people
you
in those
promote,
seats.
You got to do all that stuff. So respect to all the people who dedicate themselves, man, for sure. But yeah, we got UFC coming up. We got a UFC Fight Pass coming up May 15th. Couple fighters got Nicky Rod, J Rod. Those are the guys that I've been watching. I see on their YouTube. I like Beat Team stuff.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I respect you know, that helps motivate, you know, other people like us, you know, to start their own thing.
True.
I know we've been starting and you know, recording and just putting ourselves out there.
Yeah,
for sure.
Definitely influence. They do have podcasts and stuff like that, and they're more animated. I don't want to talk a lot of smack, but yeah, some guys in jiu-jitsu are kind of, you know, they're kind of quiet, and I mean that's a more traditional way of a martial artist, right?
Right.
Respect, quiet.
Right.
They don't want to show the training, but you know, B team, they'll show their training.
Right.
I mean,
I feel like it's like the new age of stuff, you know.
Yeah.
You know, keep your open source and just share the knowledge. You know, I feel like
it's gonna make everyone
better.
Yeah, it's gonna grow the sport.
It's gonna evolve the whole thing together. You know, and you know, putting yourself out there and expanding, not just keeping a tunnel vision will help you just see other things and, you know, develop your own thing. No one can really copy. I mean, yeah, you can see a move here and there, but it's you doing it.
True.
So you can find your own ways of trying to flow. And yeah,
man.
So I know you've been doing podcasts for how many years? Have
2017. Yeah, 2017.
2017.
Officially, yeah.
Nice.
20. Was that like 7 years? Something like that.
Oh yeah, 27. Yeah.
So 7 years, man.
Yeah.
Been doing podcasts. Yeah, MRI podcast. You can go follow that MRI man.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, and then you started your vlogs.
Yes, sir. Just started.
Put the links in the description if you guys want to check that out.
Yeah, I just started daily vlogs. Like I'll say like about a month ago. Just trying to post, you know, documenting the process of just training jiu-jitsu. Because once you start, you feel like you can't stop. You feel like you have to show up and do it. So I feel like that's something I enjoy. But like, what do you enjoy most about podcasting and getting to know other people?
What I like most about podcasting is it's a way I can express myself, put my knowledge out there, and just seeing all the people that kind of like feel the same way or influencing or motivating people to like do something different with their lives. I mean, maybe I'll influence somebody here to do jiu-jitsu.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be awesome. Just like in my MRI channel, I've been motivating people that are interested in the career, and I kind of show them the behind the scenes, the day in the life, and talk about, I keep it real with them and tell them how it is. And I have a lot of people hit me up. Oh, I started MRI school because of you, or oh, I didn't do MRI, but I went the X-ray route, or if I can spark that mind. And who knows, man? On here, we can spark the mind. Maybe a young person be watching this and then become the world champion. One day they'll start jiu-jitsu.
Awesome.
Hey, we saw your channel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Be on the wall.
I got some legacy behind us here too.
Man.
And people have their own journey. I also wanted to talk about there could be cons to jiu-jitsu too. You could get hurt.
True.
It could be addictive, and you overcommit, and you other responsibilities start lacking. Yeah. So it's a balance, and
gotta have balance.
there's a few people that I listen to, like there's this guy named Joseph Chen. He's a B team guy, and he mentions that like jiu-jitsu is not everything in his life. There's other things besides jiu-jitsu.
Yes.
Jiu-jitsu is just a way of him of expressing himself and trying to get better at one thing. But I mean, I try to have balance when it comes to that stuff too, when it's like could be over obsessed and just addicted just to one thing, and other parts of your life are still there. You still have family, you still have kids.
Yes.
It's important to have that balance, and I'm still gonna figure that out over time, so
working on that too,
for sure.
But there is, if you do join Gracie Baja, there is several different times you can come in.
For sure.
Morning, evening, and night. Mm-hmm. Also, if you sign up with GB, Gracie Baja, you can train at any of the GBs.
Which is awesome.
I'll be literally all over the world.
Yeah,
you're going to Japan?
Going to Japan, trying to train at GB. So hopefully we get some videos for you
That'd
guys.
Awesome.
I don't speak Japanese, so hopefully we could get someone to translate. And yeah, man, I'll just show you guys how jiu-jitsu is. It's a language in itself. That's what people say. So like,
Yes.
You don't speak Japanese, speak jiu-jitsu.
Exactly.
So I think that would be super dope, just to get a different feel and just to explore it, because that's something I always wanted to do. I always wanted to travel, check out other places.
That'd be awesome.
Because you grow up in a town or a city, you're just used to that same thing.
Yes.
You get in these same motions, and
monotonous.
you're like,
monotony.
And just get a different flavor every once in a while. Maybe you like something else. Try it.
You're gonna find out how different you are, and you're gonna find out who you are, because everyone's not like here. It can kind of be like, you know what I mean? I mean, like when I was in LA, I feel like all the LA people are kind of similar, the same, wear the same thing, move the same way, talk the same way.
Yeah, same.
All that, the same mannerisms. Like, what up, dog? Like everybody say that.
Right.
You go to Japan, and now you're like, oh damn, you're gonna feel like an individual. You're gonna stand out from the crowd.
Right.
And start to see who you really are. Even when I moved here, I kind of felt, because everywhere I go, they're like, oh, you're not from around here. And I'm like, what? Like, so it's like you start I started to feel like, I was like, damn, I'm my own person. Like I have my own style or swag to myself. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You could do that in your jiu-jitsu too. You got your own swag to you with your own.
It's true.
The way you learn, the way you process things is probably different from the next person.
100%.
So you get to represent yourself. So I think that's super cool.
Awesome. Yeah, man. I mean, it's been a good first podcast, I think, dude.
I like it, bro. I like the vibe. Kwame, before we head out, what do you think the people should expect when it comes to these podcasts or coming soon?
This podcast, you should expect to learn a little bit about jiu-jitsu, but then also about just life, man. You learn about life and how to balance your life. We're going to be talking about nutrition, health,
UFC, talked about
UFC
balance,
all
that stuff. I mean, we're just humans, we're just trying to have a good time, share whatever we've learned. I know Kwame, he's worked a bunch of places, he has a lot of experience. Me, just getting out of college, just trying to figure out what my passions are, and podcasting would be a good place to start. Get to work on my skills.
Hell yeah. But yeah, man. But I don't know. We'll have a lot of interesting topics to talk about.
For sure.
MMA, Jiu-Jitsu, maybe a few conspiracies. You know,
never know out here, bro.
aliens. We do live close to SpaceX, right? I mean, we're at Vandenberg over there.
I didn't even know that.
You didn't even know that. So a lot of weird stuff going on.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I know you wanted to talk. I know before you head out, the culture of jiu-jitsu and where it originated from. I know that was something you wanted to mention before.
Yeah, man. I mean, they say that it was, the samurai were doing jiu-jitsu when they became unarmed. So they were doing jiu-jitsu, I think some judo too.
Right.
And I was looking into that. It's very, very interesting. So yeah, jiu-jitsu did come from Japan originally, right?
Mm-hmm. And then it was, you got the lineage right here. You got Maeda, and then it was taught to Carlos Gracie. And I believe these were brothers, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, because that would be a very large mistake.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Yeah, so, Helio Gracie, and this is his son, Holes, and Carlos. Holes was also half brothers with Hickson Gracie, and Hickson Gracie was he's very known for being the most badass Gracie Jiu-Jitsu Vale-Tudo fighter. It's like 400 or no or something like that. Man. Which is it's crazy just talking about the Gracies. It's like a whole lineage of freaking killers, bro. Straight up. Like just imagine growing up in a family where all of your family is just super competitive, and they're just working on the same thing, Amazing. They're locked in. They really don't do anything else. So it's
big part of jiu-jitsu.
So, we'll talk about the history. We'll talk about things that we learned. Yes. And we'll just share the knowledge with you guys. If you guys like the podcast, make sure you guys subscribe. Yes. Put notifications on to watch it whenever it comes out. I'm sure it'll be like weekly or whatever we figure out. Mm-hmm. So we'll keep you guys updated, man.
For sure.
So try to make this a regular thing. But if you guys enjoy it, leave a like, leave a comment. Do the thing, man.
All right, first episode, man.
How do you feel?
Be on the roll. I feel really good about it. Yeah. That was awesome.
I thought it was pretty good. Not gonna flowing. Like I'm sure we'll get it down.
Yeah, man. We literally just got off the mats, by the way. So
yeah, we just got off the mats and we're just like, all right, we'll just do it. We'll just do the thing. So.
Oh yeah, we're also gonna be doing. Eventually, we're gonna be interviewing bunch of people, a bunch of top people in jiu-jitsu. Hopefully.
Yeah. So once we get our stuff down, we know what we're talking about. We're not talking about no BS. Yeah. We'll make sure we know what we're talking about and just have a good time, man. Just have a good time.
Trying to have fun with it.
Exactly.
All right, guys. Peace.
Peace, man.
Be out.
Yes, sir.